the reason I'm out here is not just to volunteer and help. That's originally how I found it. I wanted to create a garden for my church. Of course, I'm also out here to get knowledge. Hello world, thanks for joining me. It's a beautiful day out today, a little humid, but not quite too hot yet this morning. My name is Mickey. I live in the great state of Texas with my dog Buckshot, and I'm on Homestead journey. If you watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I don't have property yet. My last video, I spent a little time talking about some of the things that are most important to me when it comes to buying property. But while I'm waiting to find that little piece of heaven, I am doing all that I can to learn the techniques of homesteading. One of the ways that I learn, besides planting in the backyard and doing some of the other things that you might see on other YouTube channels, homesteading channels, is volunteering at community gardens. I'm going to visit one today, Katie Christian Ministries, that raises fruits and vegetables for the needy and homeless. So without further ado, let's take off on our journey. It isn't too far a drive today, but hopefully it'll be a nice one. So here we are. It looks like they've been adding a new space here. They've got some tarps down to try to kill off some of the weeds and grasses before laying down wood chips and adding another part to the garden. So let's take a look. It's still really bright out here, so hopefully you can see everything. There's some citrus trees here. I think this is a persimmon tree. And some figs. This fig tree is doing really well. It's a celestial fig. Just look at that. Really nice. Doing really well. And this looks like it is possibly an orange, a small orange. Not positive about that. Over here we've got some basil, some squashes, some more basil. Looks like Thai basil. Another fruit tree. Not quite sure what kind of fruit tree this is. It looks like they had some problems with bugs. They're doing their best to fix it. This is either a Meyer lemon or a lime tree. It's got quite a bit of fruit on it. Maybe little key limes. And this is a beauty plum. Don't see any plums on it right at the moment. Looks like it might be another plum tree. Let's see. And an apple. Actually an apple tree. Not sure about growing apples in Texas, but especially 9A, but obviously this is going to work out. It's looking good. This is another apple. Einshimmer apple. Also looking really good. Nice and healthy. Little spot over here where it looks like they were growing things inside the cinder blocks. I think these were all just herbs. Looks like there was some oregano that dried out and some parsley, some garlic chives. Yeah, some other parsley, some other chives around. Looks like maybe some, looks like more oregano. Quite a bit of oregano, actually. They've let the center part kind of grow up. This is in the form of a cross here. I don't know if you can see that. It's a cross. This bed they're reworking. Needs to be weeded a bit. Over here got some squash, summer squash. Just some yellow crooked neck, I think. And it's starting to grow up the trellis. Look at all those blooms. Lots of blooms down there. Soil's nice and wet. It's got some mushrooms growing underneath in the shade. Lots of blooms here. Oh, sorry, this is cucumber. Cucumber. More cucumber. Obviously, I don't know my plants. Doing really well. Look at that. Just gorgeous. A little windy out here, so I apologize if the sound isn't so great. It started to get really warm, and as the heat kicks up, the wind kicks in. Some tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes mostly. Not sure what these are here. These are just large, big beef tomatoes, it says. There's a nice big one. Tomatoes are doing really well here. Of course, they try to grow things that people actually want and are going to eat. So that's a big part of this. You don't want to grow things that you're not going to eat. So I've really taken that to heart and started thinking about some of the things that I would grow on my property that I would definitely eat if I have a huge harvest of beans. Let's say these are some string beans. You know, of course, I better love beans. These may be watermelon here that they've planted. I can't quite tell. Maybe you know. If you know the way those leaves look, maybe you'll leave me a comment. The lady who runs this place, she's a Fort Bend County Master Gardener. Her name is Karen. She's not out here today with me, so I'm not able to interview her and talk about the process and get her comments on the garden. These are some either wax peppers, looks like some kind of sweet peppers probably. I think these are squash. Yeah, these look like squash blooms over here. Of course, I said that last time and it was cucumber, but these look, oh yeah, there we go. There you can see the squash. Lots of squash growing in here. That's great. Look at that. Just beautiful. You can see this bed is, gosh, maybe 20 feet long. Let's see. (16 to 18 feet long. Some more tomatoes here. They're surely going to grow over the top of these standard tomato trellises. Oh yeah, these look like Roma tomatoes. So they get that shape to them. They normally have these little bricks out here that tell you what's growing, but obviously this is not cilantro. So I'm not sure what they're doing over there. These look like some peppers. And it looks like they're letting this go to seed. I don't know if this was, I think this was cilantro, looks like. Oh yeah, this is cilantro that they're letting go to seed. So soon this will be some good coriander seeds that will be ready to harvest. See a few here that are already pretty well dried off, but they're not falling off yet, so there's a couple of good ones. What do you think, Buckshot? Does that smell good? You're the only dog I know that likes cilantro. I don't know what it is about it. It smells good, Tim. Some more string beans. No companion planting that I've seen. They tend to keep everything in the same bed, as far as I can tell. Here's some potatoes. You can see down in here. See them just popping up, some red potatoes. Look good. These are some grapevines. Not sure what kind of grapes they are. Looking good though. These are probably blackberries, or sometimes we call them dewberries, or maybe raspberries. Some raspberries here. Look at that. Oh no, these are blackberries. You can see they put the netting over them so the birds don't get to them. I had that problem in my backyard. Got another citrus tree here. Not sure what this is. Maybe another plum? This one says it is a pink satin pomegranate. So this is actually a pomegranate tree, and I think that other one there is too. Pink satin pomegranate. And a peach tree. And it's bearing fruit. So I don't know if they came out here and pollinated it. I don't see that there's another, I don't know of another peach tree around here. I thought they were monoecious, but maybe not. Maybe somebody can tell me. Texas Star peach. We do have some good peaches in Texas. Buckshot, what are you doing over there? Come on. Here we have a kumquat. Looking a little bare. Kumquats I think have already come and gone for this year. I think they're in March, May time frame. This is some Swiss chard that continued on from the winter. See, it's just about done. I'm surprised it's going this long. It's really hot. I mean, today it's going to get up to it's going to feel like 100 because of the humidity, but it's in the mid-90s today already. They talked about us possibly hitting a record for this time of year, since it's only the middle of May. Over here we got a little more Thai basil and some, I'm not sure what this is. Plant you'll have to help me identify. These look like carrots. A few carrots maybe. There's still quite a bit of space. Another row of tomatoes over here. They're looking good. A couple different types, some Roma on one end, some cherry tomatoes on this end, and some just, I don't know, maybe some big boys or something over here in the middle. And some more beans. I think we already showed these beans. So you can see that it's not really all that big of a property. I mean, there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. They're working on their 18th bed here. So 18 beds at 18 feet by, 3 feet. They've got some water harvesting going on. And Karen said that this shed is really capturing all the water that they need at this point. I don't really know if that's completely true for the year, but they're using these tanks here. And they just have the water running off of this little shed into a gutter system. And running into these tanks. And that's it. So really cool. So as I mentioned, Katie Christian Ministries grows this food to donate to the homeless and the needy. Right now, that's a lot of folks, right? Look at all these tomatoes down here. So they're really doing a lot for the community. So as you can see, this is a really nice piece of property, and they're doing so much for the community, especially right now when so many people are struggling to find where their next meal is coming from and pay their bills. It's just such a great organization. And as I said, the reason I'm out here is not just to volunteer and help. Of course, I'm also out here to get knowledge. I really need to use all the things within my area that I can learn from. Whether that's going to the library and reading a book, whether that's coming to a garden, gardening in my backyard, going to an apiary, visiting other farms and talking to the farmers. People who farm, people who our gardeners. They're such cool people. They're so nice. They really like talking about what they're doing. So there's lots of opportunity to learn, even if you haven't bought the property for your homestead yet. Katy Christian Ministries is not affiliated with a particular church. They're a non-denominational organization. So if you're interested in giving, donating, or working, you can look them up on the internet. They have a web page and you can sign up to help in the garden. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you liked this video. I hope that you'll subscribe and leave some comments. Again, my channel is about connecting with the community, and there are so many people out there who are homesteading, starting a farmstead, urban gardening, other channels on YouTube who are doing the same kind of thing I'm doing, documenting their journey. I hope you enjoy my story, and you'll leave comments and subscribe. And of course, last but not least, don't forget, happiness is the new wealth. All right, come on, let's go.